Well, good morning, Bernard. Here we are, recovered apparently from the efforts at Ingleborough, but we're here in one bit.
Absolutely memorable day in so many respects. Good weather, but today sadly it's back to English summertime, and looking by the clouds we're going to get some rain, but there's some blue up there as well, Andrew, so it might be showers. And we're parking at Beetham Nursery, sorry, not Beetham Nursery, at the
paper mill, corn mill, yeah.
At the corn mill, and we're going to walk anti-clockwise.
Clockwise?
Even clockwise, I'm sorry, yes, the weather's affecting me.
Yeah, it's that Ingleborough walk.
And absolutely, yeah. You'll probably remember, Andrew, this route here, in which we go across a limestone pavement here, and it's beautiful but absolutely treacherous, and especially limestone wet. We're not going that way, so we'll walk up the road and pick it up here, and we'll go to the top of Fairy Steps, down to the road, cross the road, and then up the other side. Beautiful views from up here over the bay, as you well know, and then down to there along the shore, through the deer park and back to the car park.
How far is that? That's not too far, is it?
No, perhaps 5 and a bit, because I'm cutting off quite
here.
Yeah.
Well, like Bernard says, it's grey. It's thrown it down overnight. It's supposed to be nice for part of the morning, and then kicks in again about 2 o'clock, I think, this afternoon. So there are 10 of us. Yeah, 10 of us ready to go. And it's just a gentle walk. There's a bit of limestone, so I'll have to watch conditions underfoot. And we're starting off just heading south. This is the little track road, lane, whatever you want to call it, that we came in on, and we're parked up at the top there on the car park for the Heron Corn Mill paper mill, which is round the back here. Heading down into the village of Beetham, and then as Bernard says, we're walking up the road and cutting out a little bit of the limestone, which will be treacherous today, because it'll be very wet, and it's not the nicest stuff when it's wet. So we're walking up through the village of Beetham, which is there behind us. We're walking up the hill and up the road at the moment. We've cut, like Bernard said when he was doing the map view, we've just cut a little segment out because it's a bit it'll be a bit slippy. It'll be a bit slippy, a limestone today, so playing safe. There's some lovely little gardens here as well. Some have been set for wildflowers, been rewilded, as it were. And then we're heading this way now, up the footpath.
How is it today, Bernard?
To the Fairy Steps, and then we're going up there and then round to the right.
About 7.
So we're off the road now and into the woods on our way up to the Fairy Steps. I don't think we'll get there this morning. We won't be going up or down them apparently. I'm going to stay above them. But we've come up here, up a little limestone path, and it's damp underfoot. We're avoiding the limestone because that, as I say, is very slippy. So we've come out of the woods. You can see where we're going now. And then here, just in front of Jeff, that's the Fairy Steps down there. And the saying goes that if you can get down there, only the fairies can get down there without touching the walls. So that's what we're. So I'm guessing just for Graham, this is 10s, 11s, it's probably half 90s, I don't know. Yeah, this is just above the ferry steps, which are there in that little crack above Bob's head, just behind Jeff now. And then over there we've got Arnside Knot, and then a little bit further Arnside Knot, and then we've got the estuary coming up from Arnside up to the bay. I think we'll get some better views of that later on in the day, but this is our first view across the bay. Arnside there, and Grange over Sands over there. So two of the group, or one of the group, hasn't done the ferry steps before, and so here he comes any minute now. We hope he's gonna be. He's gonna be.
What you should do now? Set off going down. That'll cause chaos. Send the dog down.
Here we are. Here's Jeff. Where have you been?
Say I'm not going back.
And here he comes, Sherpa tensing.
Is it alright if this lady comes down now?
I don't think she'll get past me.
Joking. This is a drug sniffer dog.
Well,
Keep it away from your bag.
I'll tell you what, he still hasn't touched the sides.
Ah well, I make no comment.
Go on, young man, you can do it.
Is he? You have to be up behind him.
in case I fall back.
Oh, look at this, eh? Handholds and toe holds.
Oh,
That's a
does
big
it
one.
get it harder, Jeff?
Yeah.
That was good, Jeff. That's good. And now here comes Alan. Alan, who's the Fairy Steps virgin. He's climbing it with his rucksack in his hands.
Yeah, must. Don't come here with your excuses.
He's coming. He's here now. He's popping out. He's popping out. He's not going to see a fairy, I'm afraid, because he's touched the walls.
Pipes aboard. Well done.
Well done, young man.
Well done.
At least if I try it while you lot are here and I get stuck.
Yeah, we'll leave you behind, you'll be alright.
So now we're skirting the fairy steps. We've come away from them, sort of back down the track, back through the woods here. Still, the paths. We went along one path that we couldn't actually find, the one that we wanted to get on. So we've come back down to this one that'll take us back to the path that we were looking for. Still damp underfoot, but the weather's trying. It's trying to get out. There's some little birds here in the
First week in September.
just in the woodland here.
All that 31st.
I just see a little bit of movement there, like little grouse. To be better than that on the 12th of August. So now we're on the equivalent of a stone skating rink. Wet limestone in slabs, and it's just this is lethal stuff, really. Very easy to end up on your backside, and very painful landing on it as well. Yeah, smooth limestone that's wet, rubber boots, rubber soles. It's not a very good combination. But we're surviving so far. You can still see all the slats of it, the pavement pieces of it. Here's some more parts of it. See what it's like. It's just solid limestone up here. 10 miles direct north, and you'll probably be walking on slate. It's that different around this part of the country. It's not ideal, isn't it? So we've come out of the woods and here we are, and there's the village, the town, town, I don't know, village I suppose, of Milnthorpe, and then we're coming round there in the middle is Heversham, so we're almost, you can't see it but the A6 is there, and then you come round here, and then over here is the village of Levens, and this is the valley that runs into the bay. So there's plenty of discussion still going on. We're past 11's, but we're too early for lunch, so we're just standing and having a look at the view. There's a little bit across there towards Grange and that sort of end, and then here's, I don't know whether this is the Beeler or whether it's running into the Beeler's the one on the right there, and whether the big one is actually the River Kent coming out of Kendal. We'll see probably when we're a little bit lower down, but it's a good view today. It's a better view when it's sunny, obviously, but then beyond these first hills in the background blending in with the clouds are probably the Howgills over Sedble way. So as I said, further up now, we're just a little bit lower down. This is the River Kent, the wider one coming in. This little bit at the bottom, just there, that runs that way, is the River Beeler, and that comes through Milnthorpe and out through Dalham. And then that joins the Kent estuary that goes out at Arnside down the path there. And sometimes the best laid plans of planners doesn't help. It just says public footpath, but doesn't tell you where any of them are going. And this is a brand spanker, is this. Same on the other side, I'm thinking. Yeah, public footpath, public footpath, public footpath. No idea where they're going. They're helpful, but they could be better helpful. Well, we're well and truly out of the woods now. We're right, right down by, we're alongside, we just crossed the road from Milnthorpe to Arnside, and we're right down by the estuary. This is Whitbarrow Scar, I would think, across there, straight in front of us. And then you're over to the very minor start of the South Lakeland Hills, and up in the clouds way away, you're getting up towards Helvellyn and that way. Lovely colours of these grasses down on the beach here. Treacherous sands, of course, still part of the bay, a very fast tide, and we're on the old railway line, as you can guess now from the terrain that we're walking on. This is taking us east now. We're almost at the top of the map on the walk that we're doing. So at the top of the walk and getting ready to turn back when we've had some lunch. Heading east towards Milnthorpe. And now we're just coming off the old railway onto this area of outstanding natural beauty. And it certainly is. It's beautiful down here. It's down this little path that's taken us down. Butterflies, all sorts. Down towards, it's almost a sea wall, a river wall, anyhow, a breakwater. And we're heading down here, right down to the coastline, right down to the shoreline. Beautiful. So this is lunch. A bit breezy. We've just come along the coastline there, down that little path, and then we're coming round here to the village of Storth, and then you can probably, let's see if I can help. make out a darker line at the end of the trees on the left, running across the top of the sand reeds, and that I think is the railway viaduct at Arnside, and then we're coming out over here and all the way around the estuary, the Kent estuary, and then the Beela that, as I said before, joins it with Barrow Scar. Can't quite make out the lakes, it's still a bit grey. It's been a nice little lunch stop here. Plenty of birds about, it's been lovely. We're just coming back now along the along this is the Beela River. Coming along, just walking along here along the little marsh path. We're coming along here now, yeah. And so we've just crossed this bridge. I've come across the road that bridge runs over, which is the road between Arnside and Milnthorpe. This is the Beela River, and we're now in Dalham Park, and this is Dalham Hall. Lovely little park. We're going to walk along this path here, straight along here, and then we're going to cut up over the hill, and that takes us back towards Beedham. So that's the way we're heading. So we've come up the hill from the obligatory bridge photograph, walking through the park. Could go over the top, but we're not going over the top, but we're going to just take in a little herd of deer that are resident here at Dalham. You see them quite frequently sometimes when you're driving down the A6 or driving up the A6 from Carnforth through Milnthorpe, and we're carrying on now almost straight ahead, just over that little bit of a bump, and then we'll head off to the left, I think, and back down towards Beedham. Yes, a few years ago when I did this walk, I don't know, say a few years ago, probably a couple of years ago, it was noticeable how much tree and storm damage there was. And I thought it had been tidied up. I think it's been tidied up, certainly, but there's still, as is clear, a lot of storm damage about. Trees on the snapped off at the roots, and well, yeah, it did a lot of damage to the estate, I think. Down at the bottom there, the wall that you can see is the wall at the side of the A6, that wall there. And there's a building there that we'll get a better view of it as we climb a little bit. And that's the deer sanctuary. I got cut off by the wind there. In the background now that's part of Heversham Village. But this is the building I was talking about. This is a deer shelter. And last time we were up here, it was a wreck, a ruin. It had been set fire to. It's a listed building, I think. I don't know whether it's grade 2. It has been there a long time, and now been rebuilt. But obviously not the original structure, unfortunately. But that's the deer shelter. So we're looking over here now. Between the trees on the left hand side is Falton Fell. Coming round, motorway runs under that. This is Heversham, sorry, this is Milnthorpe Village, and the main road down at the bottom there. And then you're running over to the lakes over there, and the way that we've come up. Lovely walk, and we're still dry. So we've climbed that little hill just over and just past the deer park, and now we're just dropping down through this. I suppose this is an avenue. It might be on a slope. It's not a flat avenue, but it's certainly between two lines of trees, and we're heading back now towards the cars, which are just down at the bottom of this hill. And here we are down at the bottom now. We're heading towards the 5-barred gate there. I don't know whether you'll see it. We've just been swooped by a swallow, just been coming, flying in between us. Beautiful sight, lovely, lovely colour, dark blue, just in and out of in between us. You know, you might see one up on the lane ahead of it and the path ahead of us. But we're heading now to the 5-barred gate. Through the 5-barred gate, turn left, and there's the cars. So that's the end of the walk. It's been a good walk. It's always a nice walk up here. Weather's been kind to us, really, I'm guessing, because it was due to be throwing it down at some stages today, which it's not been, and so we've been very, very fortunate with that. But because the clouds have been down, the views haven't been up to their normal high standard, but it's still been a good walk with good company, and we'll see you next week, folks.